Greetings, folks, and in today's segment of 90s comic nostalgia, I will be showcasing Sinja with Lightning Comics. Uh, it's written and the art by John Cleary. Now, Sinja came around 95, 96. Um, 95, according to the art here, direct market. This $3 back then, which was a lot to ask for, but it was an independent book. It wasn't no Marvel or anything, so they had to find a way to, justify their print run, I guess, and their operations. And yeah, Lightning Comic just happened to be one of those independent uh, comic book companies that popped out. A lot of independents started to pop out because when Image broke away from the Marvel, well, not Image itself, but like all the staff from Marvel and DC moved to become Image guys, the founders of Image. I guess people were like, oh, you know what? Why don't we just do our own thing? And they were like rock stars, so they're like, okay, well, if they could be rock stars, maybe we can be rock stars too, and started to do a lot of their own creator-owned, works. The problem is, for as good as the concept that you have, maybe the strengths and weaknesses of stuff just ain't there, like editing, um, somebody to tell these guys good sense. But then again, I'm sure a lot of people had told TMNT people like Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, that their ideas sucked. And look at them, they're gazillionaires. So, well, at least one of them is. Probably not Kevin Eastman, but still, yeah. And, at the time, everybody, you could tell that these guys were fans of Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld based on the way the art is. This is just, inspired by their style. Yeah. See, and look at these other books from back in the day. Helena, um, which was, capitalizing on the growing bad girl trend at the time. Looking like Lady Death here. And Creed by Trent excuse me, Kanayuga. He used to be a Wizard used to talk about him a lot because his style was very, I don't know, like what Tagger's style, graph artist style, graffiti artist style, on comic books look kind of good, you know. So yeah, anytime I heard the word Creed, this is the first thing I thought of before, the band Creed or Apollo Creed even. I think of that book. But yeah, look, it's got looks kind of like G.I. Joe, Storm Shadow with the tattoos. Yeah, frizzy hair. Look at a lot of texture there. Likes it. All right, so this was cover A. This is cover 1B with Konoichi in it. Now, they're not actually in the book, but I guess they're previewing that he was trying to preview them because he was going to do their own book later on, which I'm going to show you he does. Yeah. Same thing, just see, this is how things were done back in the day, guys. Yet through mail. This order may be photocopied. This is how we got things back then, guys. Through mail, photocopy. Money order your form. This is before PayPal, internet, and all that other stuff. This is how things were done. This is, I showcased this earlier in a mail call. The American Entertainment Limited Edition. Yeah, it's American Entertainment exclusive. Certificate of authenticity signed by Joseph Zykowski. Doesn't say which number unless there was, but it's probably been so old that it's wiped out. But it's definitely one of 3,000 in the world. Looking good. Stab. And then this was the sequel. Just like they never did issue 2, they just did another issue 1 and called it Resurrection. This is cover A. Again, I like it. It's got that autumn sun thing going on. I like whoever the color coordination of this is really sick. I love it. I know the art is dated as far as stylistically goes, but dude, to me this still looks pretty sick. And I just get all nostalgic. I remember when people used to talk about, you know, their old Silver Age, Golden Age comics, and I'm like, man, the art's kind of compared to what I'm looking at right now. And I'm imagining millennials and above, you know, Generation Z, are looking at this thing. Ew, this is so dated. What the heck? But I like it. This is me. Like the colors, everything vibrant. Yeah, cover 1B, I guess. Direct market exclusive. Yeah, there's still $3. Yeah, the art's, you know, Helena. Creed. Lightning Comics. Shipping November. Lightning Comics. And so here's Konoichi. And ironically enough, just like many books from Image in the early time, it's basically Sinja issue 1 Resurrection, but with a different cover, right? It's a flip book. It's they have both issues in one book, and again, that, you know, it's different cover, same book. And I'll show you guys. Look, it's since this one's the busted looking. This is more of a reader copy than anything, since this one's beat. You can tell the art's very Spawn-esque pose and everything. This is the way Spawn used to pose all the time in the early doggone 90s and Spider-Man. You know, very McFarlane-esque style art. Look at that. Pretty sick. Maybe the color is bad, or I don't know. I can't even say that it's bad, because it's just, it looks like it's really, like you see glimpse of greatness. Very, if you like it could be more McFarlane-esque slash Tony Daniel or Craig Capullo-esque if they just took their time, and that would be really good actually. Yeah, because their art in Spawn back in the day, ooh, it was pretty good, pretty sick. Loved it. Everybody in the 90s, you know, a lot of smoking, teeth, guns, screaming, teeth, yelling, blood, guts, trash, like Spawn, alley, way like Spawn. Typical dudes with suits on. Every girl had to look sexy back in the day, which I didn't have a problem with as a teenage boy, you know. Demons style, you know, McFarlane Demon styles. Yeah, this looked very McFarlane, Rob Liefeld-esque, Tony Daniel style art. Pickable look, Violator looking. Even the bad guys with their suits. These were typical in 90s comics. A lot of the cigar smoking. Very much like early Spawn with a Sam and Twitch. I'm trying to remember if Sam or Twitch. Yeah, Sam would be the one who was smoking cigars. Mother. No. Spawn style face. Looks like Malbolgia hair. This pose. Very much like Spawn with green slime. The colors, legs, demon. Yeah, this is very, yeah. They emulated the best. But not quite. Okay, now see, Lightning Comic fan bonus. So do not stop now. This comic contains two exciting stories. Just flip the book over and you'll be reading Kunichi 1 or Sinja Resurrection 1. Too bad they never did an issue 2 of Sinja, because I definitely would have picked it up. And yeah, see, look, it's the Konichi. See, John Cleary did it. Just an excuse to put in Sneaking This Girl team, which again I didn't have no problems with back in the day. But this woke culture nowadays, no way. They'll be like, you misogynist pig. They want people to be fat or whatever. These comic books. Body, what's it called? Body positivity. Man, I don't give a shit about none of that. I'll be reading all sorts of buff dudes on comic books, and don't see me, complaining about that. Unrealistic. Not everybody in the world is buff. See, the art's not bad, but again, it could have been polished. Editor, see, too bad. At the time, speculators kind of killed the market. Everybody hyping things up, and they realize, they're just too much. There's no scarcity, which is why none of their, books were ever gonna come up, because there's just a gazillion of them out there. Not, if you'll notice in the market trends these days, like only a handful of like things from the 90s are, kind of valuable, like the Venoms and the Carnage first appearances and the Deadpool first appearances, but that, that's because of the Hollywood backing and stuff. And even then, Infinity Gauntlet series that came out in the Infinity Crusade, that those came out in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s too. Strong backing from Hollywood, making those books still valuable. But books like these, no, unless somebody, I kind of wish that somebody had come back, bought all these properties from back in the day, like this and Arachnus, and with more updated artists, I guess, but while still maintaining the initial look, I guess. Just little tweaks here and there to be more updated and written by, and I don't know, like the guys who write Vault Comics stuff, and the guys who are in Vault Comics, Boom Studios, they could resurrect these properties. And dude, imagine. I could only imagine what these things would be like if they continued. I'd buy them, but that's just me. I'm hoping one of these days that somebody brings these back up in some capacity, because even for just another short while. But anyways, a lot of books died, and this one of them, no issue 2, and so they just did another issue 1 to try. So I guess it was a gimmick, so that because people don't know, that people realize that if it says issue 1, more people are just willing to buy it because it says first on it. So saw the guts of that book. Let's see the guts of my reader copy of this Sinja. See, you got to see the Tony Daniel style, McFarlane style of the other stuff, and now you get to see this more on the same Liefeld, Roger Cruz style, early Roger Cruz from the Youngblood style, Team Youngblood, I believe. Sinja makes a deal with her to be Sinja, so that, you know, he says, like they said that, you know, she'll resurrect her family and protect them if you kill these, you know, those 5 demons. And he does. He kills them. Then he commits seppuku and kills himself. And you know, honorably, she resurrects his family. And you know, I guess as the line goes, the firstborn of his line, the I think it's the Taganawa. Let me see. Yeah, I'm sorry. Taganaga. The Taganaga clan. Each and every single one of them, firstborn, will be able to have the powers of such, as it's passed down generations wise. And yeah, this goes. It looks like it talks about like 3 generations worth, and a conspiracy to try to get back at the guy who became Sinja. And yeah, he trains, gets older, then the powers kick in somewhere and he loses time and ends up here in the future or present, 95, 96. And look at him, he before that. Up, demonetized. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. The woo flew. Anyways, yeah, that's it for this segment of 90s comic book nostalgia. Again, I really wish that was the way things were back then. And look, this is how you protect your stuff. My lights with comic skins, clear backing boards, so it looks like it's floating. It's sexy. Yeah. See? Imagine how baller that looks. People are like, where the backboards at though, bro? Don't need none. Actually, there is. Oh. See what I mean? Look how baller that is. Alright folks, that's it for this segment. We'll do another 90s nostalgia, comic nostalgia again soon. Again, I was trying to find, you know, I don't know if I'll be able to, I try to find the complete run of things, but in this case I don't think this run can be complete because the last issue is just impossible to find. So I'll showcase that next and you'll see what I'm talking about. Another obscure ass classic. Alright folks, till the next video, thank you for watching. Ciao.